Hello everyone and welcome to another video. The subject of this video is the Zeppelin raids on Hull in the First World War. Now just a quick explanation as to what the Zeppelins were. They were a type of airship that had been built by Germany prior to the First World War. Well, in fact some of them were built in the First World War. And during the First World War they were used to bomb the UK. Now technically a Zeppelin was built by the Zeppelin company. However, the term became a generic term used to refer to any airship, like Hoover is for vacuum cleaners and so on and so forth. And as would happen in World War II, Hull was a target for air raids due mainly to the dock system, although there was the railways as well, which were also a target. So the first Zeppelin raid on Hull occurred on the 5th to the 6th of June 1915. The Zeppelin L9, commanded by Captain Heinrich Matty, was spotted flying over Hedon at 11:45 p.m. and arrived over Hull 2 minutes later. It had originally intended to bomb London, but couldn't get there because of high winds, so it ended up bombing Hull instead. The raid lasted 30 minutes and 13 high explosives and 47 incendiaries were dropped, hitting Constable Street, Coltman Street, Campbell Street, South Parade, Porter Street, Queen Street, Blanket Row, East Street and Waller Street, as well as the Humber Dock. 40 shops were destroyed and one cargo ship called the Crocus was damaged. Holy Trinity Church was also hit, causing £100,000 in damage. Now that £100,000 is at 1915 prices as well, so it would be considerably more now. 24 people were killed during this raid and 40 were injured. And subsequently there was a blackout imposed, which made Hull one of the darkest places during the war. On the 5th of July 1915, the government placed a 6-foot wooden gun on the roof of the Rosedowns and Thompson factory at Cannon Street to try and raise civilian morale. However, this was later removed on the 23rd of January 1916. On the 9th of August 1915, a raid intended for Hull was blown off course and bombed Goole instead, killing 16 civilians. At midnight on the 5th of March 1916, the L11 and L14, unable to reach Rosyth in Scotland, bombed Hull instead. The attack lasted for over an hour. Several shops in Queen Street were destroyed, and more damage was caused to Holy Trinity Church, and houses were bombed in Linnea Street, Porter Street, Queen Street, Church Street and Selby Street. Earl's Shipyard was also hit. 17 people were killed in the raid and 52 were injured. This raid meant that on the 16th of March 1916 there were mobile guns and searchlights arrived in Hull to try and help defend against any future raids. On the 5th of April 1916, L11 returned to Hull, dropping one bomb, damaging a private house in Portobello Street. Nobody was killed or injured by the bomb, though Jesse Matthews from Barnsley Street died of shock. The Selby Street raid happened on the 8th to the 9th of August 1916 when the L24 attacked at 1:15 a.m. dropping incendiary bombs on Annaby Road and the railway, causing damage in Selby Street, Sandringham Street and Linnea Street. Around 10 people died, with 20 more injured. On the 24th of September 1916 at 2:50 a.m, the L41 dropped 16 bombs on South Parade, St James Street, Lansdowne Street and Fountain Street. The only casualty was a chicken. On the 12th of March 1918, at about 1:15 a.m., the L-63 dropped a dozen bombs around Hull, damaging windows around South Coates Avenue and falling in Sutton and Swine. One cow was killed, with one person dying of shock and 3 being injured. The 5th of August 1918 saw the last recorded raid on Hull, where one bomb was dropped at about 1 a.m. with no casualties. In fact, I do apologise, the raid on the 24th of September was 1917, not 1916. I couldn't read my own writing then. Between the 12th of April 1915 to the 5th of August 1918, Hull had over 50 air raid warnings. However, most of these proved to be false alarms. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in a future video.